morning. So, in 1982, a new invention came to the world, and this was the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and the Reese's Pieces. So Hershey's had the amazing idea of blending two different items, peanut butter and chocolate, and made the Reese's. And now Reese's is one of the top-selling items and candies in the world, and I would venture to guess that many of you in the room right now would say that you like Reese's a lot, or maybe it's even your favorite candy. So, I don't know if any of you have been thinking, like, I don't know, I'd really love to have peanut butter and chocolate in a pie. Is that even a thing? Well, don't worry, because I have just the thing for you. So I love chocolate and peanut butter, and I love them together. And together I think they're just like a little taste of heaven. So I got this recipe. It is peanut butter and chocolate chip pie. I got it from this older lady at my church named Belinda Latta. She gave me this recipe, and now I've been using it at different family occasions like Thanksgiving or Halloween. If we have like a party, I'll make this. So I'm going to show you how to make this peanut butter and chocolate pie. It's nice and quick and easy to make. It's pretty much 3 steps. You're going to make a filler, make the pie, and then bake it, and then you're done. So what you're going to need for this pie is you're going to need 2 eggs, 2 large eggs, sugar, brown sugar, flour, salt, vanilla. Make sure you get unsalted butter, chocolate chips. I got semi-sweet, and then peanut butter chips. And that's it. Just as a caution, you will be using an oven, so obviously don't burn yourself. And there will be peanut butter in it, so if you're allergic to peanut butter, don't eat the pie. But also, I would suggest not making this exact pie. So as I said, just the 3 steps, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this pie. So first off, you're going to want to preheat the oven to 325. So this is how, I don't know how your oven works, but just go ahead and preheat it and start it so that it will be ready for you once you make the filler. Next, you're going to want to whisk the eggs. Like I said, 2 eggs. And then you're going to, then a half a cup of sugar. And a half a cup of brown sugar. With the brown sugar, you're going to want to make sure that you pack it down. And lastly, vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla. And you're going to whisk these all together. I'm going to make it in a bowl just because from the recipe she gave me, she says to whisk it. But you can go ahead if it's faster for you just to make it in the KitchenAid or any kind of blender you have. Now this is what it's going to look like. Not too fancy. Kind of gross looking, but just wait. Alright, next you need to add the flour and the salt. It's going to be half a cup of flour and a teaspoon of salt. Make sure that you get this kind of salt. In our house we have sea salt and this salt together, and so we gotta be careful just that you're getting this one. There you go. And then again, just whisk this up. Now this pie, you might be thinking, oh, if it's going to be like an apple pie, then it's just going to be like melted peanut butter and chocolate inside a pie crust. Well, because of this step we just did, it will not be like this. The flour in there is going to make it more like a doughy consistency in the middle. So next is the butter. Like I said, make sure you get unsalted butter. That's going to make a difference. And I've already melted it, but you will need to take a stick of butter. Depending on what the butter is like, what kind will you get. With this one, it actually says on there that half a cup is the whole stick, but you need to make sure that you're putting half a cup of butter. So you need to melt it and then make sure it cools before you actually add it. And it's very important that you add it not all at once, but in 3 separate additions. So there's one, and just stir it up. And then another. And then one last one. There you go. And then the last thing that I consider the best part of the whole thing is the chocolate chips and the peanut butter chips. I got semi-sweet, but if you like dark chocolate or some other just sweet chocolate, it doesn't matter which one you add. And then the peanut butter chips. And that's it. You just want to whisk that up. That's the last step, and that is your filling. Kind of looks, I mean, to me it looks good, but it's still very, it's mostly liquidy. It's not really a dough. So the last step before baking it is putting it into the pie crust. So I already put this in the pie crust, but what you're gonna, I used this Safeway pie crust, which it comes pre-rolled and cut out in the shape of the pie crust. So all you have to do is roll it out and then do whatever you want to do on the edges, however you want to make it look. So the next step is to put this filler into the pie crust. And I'm going to use a spatula to help just get it out. And with this pie, it's important that when you put all the filler in, make sure that it's evenly spread out. Unlike other pies, you're not going to put another pie crust on top of this. So this filler is actually going to be like what you see after you bake it. So you want to make it even so it looks nice to eat. So I'm just going to even it out all over so that when it bakes, it doesn't bake, you know, unevenly or anything. So there you go. This is peanut butter chocolate chip pie. Alright, so then the last step, the oven is still preheating up, but once it preheats up to 325, you're just going to put that in the oven. So now the oven is preheated to 325, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Make sure that the rack is in the middle, just so that it will cook evenly. So obviously be careful, don't burn yourself. The oven is hot. So lastly, we're going to set the timer to, I'm going to set it to 55 minutes. It cooks around 50 to 60 minutes, but if I set it at 55, I will be able to check it and make sure that it is puffed and golden brown. So there you go. And now I'm going to wait 60 minutes. It hasn't been the total 55 minutes, so I would say watch to see how it cooks, depending on when you take it out. But here's what it looks like. And make sure to turn off your oven so you don't burn down your house. Should be a good thing. So here you go. And once you're done, you can cut it however you would like to cut it. And I'm going to put whipped cream on top, but you can do whatever you think is best. So sometimes we can put ice cream or whatever your heart desires. So here it is. And I think everyone needs to know how to make this, especially when you're craving chocolate and peanut butter and you want something different than just the Reese's. It's very quick and easy to make. You can make it different. There's different additions you can add to it. You can add some walnuts if you like nuts, or you can add white chocolate chips to it. So now You can make this yourself. You have all the tools you need. You know how to make it. You go share it with others. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this little taste of heaven.